Good morning, students. So in the previous classes we were learning about our chapter number 8, more about plants, and in that we have completed about the types of plant and the parts of plant, and in the parts of plant we were studying about the root system and shoot system. So what's the root system? The part of the plant which lies under the ground is known as root system, and the part of plant which lie above the ground is known as shoot system. In the shoot system, then we saw about the first part of shoot system. The first part of shoot system was our stem. The first part of the shoot system was stem. So stem is the part of plant that bears all leaves, flower and fruit. That bears all leaves, flowers and fruit. It connects the root of the other plant. The part of a stem from where a leaf arises was called node, and whereas the distance between the two nodes is called an internode. Whereas the distance between two nodes is called an internode. Then we saw some of the function of the stems. The function of the stems was to provide support to the plant, to make it stand upright, transport water and minerals and salt from the roots to the leaves to carry out photosynthesis. Third, it also carries out photosynthesis. It carries out photosynthesis as some of the plants stems are green. Next, it also prepares the food prepared by the leaves to the other plant of the part of the plant. That is, it carries the food from leaves to the plant, and it carries nutrition from the roots to the leaves, which helps in the photosynthesis. Then we saw for the stem modification. So stem modification, how are the stems modified, for what functions? So some of the plants stems are modified for the storage of water. So in some plants stems are modified to carry out photosynthesis. In some plants stems are modified for protection, and in some plants stems are modified to provide support for the plant. For storage water, we saw some of the plants like in desert area cactus, their stems are swollen and fleshy, and they contain the water in them. Next, some plants stems are green in color, and so they carry out the photosynthesis, like in Apontia. For protection, some plants have thorns in them, these thorns protect the plants from being eaten away by the animals. And in some plants, stems are providing extra support to the plant by developing stem tendrils, in them, and tendrils help the plant with weak stem to climb up a support by attaching themselves. Okay, the grapevine is an example of such plants with a special structure called stem tendrils. Next, in some plant, stems are used for storing the food, like in the case of ginger and potatoes. Some of the plants are modified for storing the food. Underground stems of potato and ginger are example of such plants. Next, in some plants, stems are used for the modification. Some plant stems are used for the modification. In some plants, stems are used to multiply. In some plants, stems are used to multiply. How they are used to multiply? We cut the stems of one plant, and when we bury it in another area, we saw that the leaves starts coming out and the new plant grows from the particular stems, like in the case of rose plant. So some of the stems through which new plants multiply or grow are called tubers. That is example potato, rhizomes, example ginger, bulbs, example onion. So such stems of such plants can also produce new plant with the help of their stem cuttings. Now today we will see about the another part of a plant, that is leaf. So what is a leaf? Leaves are usually flat green structure which grow on stems at node. Already you know what is a node. Node is a part of plant. Node is a part of a plant in the stems from where a new leaf develops. So what is a node? Node is a place from where a new leaf develops. So leaves are usually flat green structure which grow on stems at nodes. Leaves are usually flat green color structures which grow on the stems at node. Most of the leaves are green in color. Most of the leaves are green in color, and they are green due to the presence of a pigment. They are green due to the presence of a green color pigment called the chlorophyll. They are green due to the presence of green color pigment called the chlorophyll. This is the chlorophyll. Okay. So you can see this is flat structure which is green in color, and this area is called node. This area is called node, and the place where stems, and this is called petiole. This is called petiole. Now we will talk about the part of a leaf. Now we are going to talk about the part of a leaf. So petiole, first part is the petiole. Petiole is the stalk-like structure. Petiole is the stalk-like structure that connects the leaf to the stem. Petiole is a green stalk-like structure that connects the leaf to the stem. Next part we will talk about is the flat green portion of a leaf, which is called leaf blade or lamina. This green portion is called leaf blade. This is called leaf blade or lamina. The green flat portion of the leaf is called leaf blade or lamina. So my dear student, so this flat green portion of the leaf is called the leaf blade or lamina. So the blade is called. Now we are talking about let us draw a leaf. So this is our leaf. In a leaf, there is you can see you have seen the leaves. So the central vein in a leaf. What is a vein? Vein in English we say nas. In human also we have the veins. So like in the humans, plant also have the veins. So this central vein of the leaf is called the midrib. The central vein of the leaf is called midrib, and from this central vein, several other smaller veins branches out. Which are called as, which helps in the providing of raw materials. So this is called midrib. This between central one is called midrib, whereas these are called the veins. Okay. So what is the function of veins? Veins act as a pipeline within the leaves. And they help in bringing the raw material needed by the leaves for photosynthesis. So what is the function of veins? Veins bring the raw material needed by the leaves for photosynthesis and carry away the manufactured food to the other part of plant. So veins carry away the manufactured food to other parts of the plant. The arrangement of a veins in a leaf is termed as venation. So once again I am repeating, what is a venation? Venation is the arrangement of veins in a leaf. What is a venation? The arrangement of a veins in a leaf is termed as venations. We will see about two types of venation. Generally, my dear student, there are two types of venations in the leaves. We will see about each venation. So we are talking about this is our leaf and this is the midrib. Okay, this is the leaf, this is midrib. So when the winds run parallel to each other, when the winds run parallel to each other, so such type of arrangement of winds in a leaf where the winds run parallel to each other is known as parallel venation. The venation in which, or the arrangement of leaf in which winds run parallel to one another is known as parallel venation. Okay, after this parallel venation, what are the examples of parallel venation? So example of parallel venation are onion and banana. So in onion and banana, the winds are arranged in parallel to each other, so that this pattern is known as a parallel venation. Next type of venation we are going to see is reticulate venation. In reticulate venation, actually what happens, the winds are arranged in a, we will use another color for this parallel. So winds are arranged in a net-like pattern. So winds are arranged in a net-like pattern. Winds are arranged in a net-like patterns on both side of midrib and on both side of midrib. On both side of midrib, you can see this is your midrib. So in both sides, this midrib, the winds are arranged in a leaf-like pattern. So this type of arrangement of winds in where the winds are arranged in net-like pattern is known as reticulate venation. Example of the reticulate venations is people and mango. People and mango can be given as the example of the reticulate venation. Okay, my dear students, so this is clear. Next we will see about the functions of the leaf. So what are some important functions of the leaf? So we all are familiar that the leaves are the food factory of the plants. Leaf act as a food factory of the plant, that is they manufacture food for the plant. Leaf manufacture the food for the plant. So they do this by the process of photosynthesis. So they prepare the food by the process of photosynthesis using carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight, using the carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. The extra food prepared by the leaves is stored in starch, and the extra food, whatever the food is remaining after the utilization of the food, some of the food is remaining in the leaves. The extra food which is prepared by the leaves, this is stored in the plant as a form of starch. This is stored by the leaves in the form of starch in various parts of the plant, such as stems, leaves, roots, etc. So leaves prepare the food for the plant by the process of photosynthesis. Leaves prepare the food for the plant by the process of photosynthesis using carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight. Then if the extra food is prepared by the leaves, so this extra food is stored in various plants such as leaf, fruits and stems. Next, leaves also have tiny holes under them. These tiny holes are called stomata. Stomata is formed from the two words singular, which means stoma, leaf. This word stomata came from a Greek word stoma, which means singular. Singular means small single holes. So leaves contain tiny holes under them. These tiny holes are called stomata. The function of this stomata is to make the plant breathe. That is, they allow the plant to breathe. Leaves breathe through, like we humans have nose to breathe, plants have stomata to breathe. They are present on the under surface of the leaves. These stomata are present on the under surface of the leaves. Leaves also lose water as we lose the sweat during this summer season. In the same way, leaves also lose water through stomata. Leaves also lose the water through stomata. into the atmosphere. So the process through which leaves lose the water through stomata is called a transpiration. So what is the transpiration? Transpiration is a process in which the leaves lose the water through stomata. And the process is known as photosynthesis. Transpiration. The process is known as transpiration. Now we will see how the leaves are modified to perform various functions in the plant. So just we will see how the leaves are modified to perform various functions in the plant. First function, to provide support. Some of the plants leaves are modified to form a special structure called tendrils. As in the case of stems, thus there are stem tendrils. In the case of leaves, there is a leaf tendrils. Leaf tendrils helps the plant like climbers to attach and climb up a support, as in the case of money plant. Leaves provide support by developing a tendrils. Leaf provides a support by developing a tendrils. Tendrils help the plant to attach and climb up a support. Next, leaves also help in the protection of a plant. Leaves are modified to form special structure called spines. These spines help to reduce the amount of loss of water that the plant loses in summer season. So this stops the transpiration. In some of the leaves are designed in form of spines, which stops the transpiration, that is loss of water from the plant. Next, leaves of plants have buds that grow into new plants. Leaves of some plants have buds that grow into new plant. Bryophyllum is an example. You can see in this diagram, these leaves help in the plant for multiplication. See, you can easily see the new plants are growing from this leaves. So some of the leaves helps the plant also to multiply. Okay, clear? Next we are talking about flowers and seed. The last final parts of the shoot system are the fruits, flowers and seeds. So first we will talk about the flower. So what is a flower? Flower is called the reproductive organ of a plant. Flower is also known as the reproductive part of the plant because it helps the plant to form seed. Which grow into new plants. Flowers help the reproductive organ of a plant. It helps the plant to form new seeds, which grow further into a new plant. For knowing this, you have to take a flower and you just one by one remove all parts of the plant, all parts of the flower. One by one you remove all parts of the flower. So after removing all parts of the flower, you have to just see what is in the between of the flower, what is at the middle part of the flower. So first we will see each part of the flowers. So the first part of the flower is the petals. This is a petal. In Hindi say वे पत्तियाँ. So this is a petal in the plant. So petals are usually colorful part of the plant. Petals are usually the colorful part of the plant. So what is a petal? Petals are the colorful parts of the plants. Next, sepals. Sepals are green leaf-like structure present at the base of the flower. What is a sepal? Sepals. These are the sepals. These are the sepals. So this is a petal and this is a sepal. Sepals are the green leaf-like structure present at the base of the flower. Sepals protect the flower while it is in the bud form. So while Flower is in the bud form. Sepal protect the flower from being getting damaged. Okay. About this topic, flowers, I will explain you through the diagrams in the board. So just like further explanation of this flower will be given to you in my next class. Till then you study hard, and soon I will try to conduct a live class for you. That will be the doubt session class for you all. So you all just go through the chapters, write down the doubts, and whatever doubt you have, you just note it down. I will just join you for clearance of the doubt. I will soon join you for the clearance of your doubt. So just go through the chapters, prepare for the exams, and if you have doubt, just note it down. I will just soon clear your each and every doubt. Okay, my dear students. Okay, Vijay.